So friends, it's Tuesday, which means it's time for another something shaped like a haul. So, as we have been doing for really the last couple of weeks, years, I don't know. We're going to share something a little different than our standard haul because frankly, past me is catching up with present you by going through this morass of things that I had to share around the latter part of last year, and then we're gonna start going back further in time as far as when things happened to get all caught up, because I've got to get as caught up as I can, because present day me is probably about to get really busy if I'm not already busy, and I don't want to repeat of previous years where I've had to kind of pull back, like, wholly. Like, I get it, I understand, but I don't love it. So, without further ado, for those of you who are new and don't know who I am, I'm Aradia, your resident witch and creatrix of an Aradia's hand and today's divine, where I create myth, magic, and meaning for your everyday life through art, intuition, and energy work. And this Tuesday, we're doing a special little thing. This is a reverse loot list, and you've noticed over the last couple of months we've done this several times because I'm really frankly just trying to catch up with what I had going on and what I worked on at the end of last year. So without further ado, what did we get, or what, maybe even a little more about this. So the original idea was the hauls, sharing stuff for my business, my work, art, supplies, tools. They can be references, whatever, what have you. It might be things from my business. It might be things from my other business. Curios, jars, containers, whatnot. And then I started branching out earlier in 2025 with doing loot lists, because I'm like, you know what? If I like these things and I like this art and you like my art, you might like these things. So let's just go ahead and get the content in all the places we can, because why not? Like, why not make the most of it? Why not use the information that's there? Don't have to reinvent the wheel, right? So then I started doing loot lists. And at the end of last year, I started doing reverse loot lists because frankly, I am also always getting things for people. As I've said before, I don't really do holidays or birthdays very well. The fact of the matter is, I usually don't have money or time or resources at the convenient times to be able to do things. So I try to do things when I see things, when I'm reminded of you, whenever. And I know I'm not the only one who does that. And so I feel like that gift giving is a little more organic and a little more natural, because it's realistic to how somebody might give a gift or what might happen, and I feel like it just means a little more. So these bad boys are the second set of Zodiac pops. I actually just looked up what the first set looked like, and I gotta tell you, I like these way better. I don't think I would have wanted to buy the old version. Like, they looked a little odd and I didn't love them. These I like a lot better. So this started with me realizing very late in the year, and I'm like, have you really properly gotten anything for Frend and her offspring? And I was like, you know what? I don't think that you have. And I said, oh no. And when it comes to gifts, we try to do surprises when we can, but sometimes it doesn't always work out. One reason why it doesn't work out is I don't want to get something for you that you absolutely hate. If I'm on the fence or I'm not really sure, I'd rather double check with you. Maybe you bought it already. Maybe you don't like it. Maybe you would prefer it XYZ, right? So I kind of try to get an idea. Yes, the surprise is ruined, but I feel like it's a little more important that you like it than you're surprised, because the surprise can be bad. So this is from Witch Auntie, so this makes sense for me to give something like this. And one of the things I really like these are the actual, like, representative animals that these signs are, and I thought that was personally really cute. The last version apparently had this little redheaded human figure dressed like these things. So like the Capricorn was a little redheaded figure dressed like a goat, and I was like, it's just really, it just felt like an odd choice. And I was like, I don't love it. Like, I have made something where something was dressed like something and it was actually really cute, but this was not working for me personally. So again, I'm glad I got this. So this was the start of my gift search. Throughout the year, like I said, I'm always getting stuff for people that I've had a hard time getting, having that happen in the last couple of years. So I have been stocking up because I haven't been seeing certain people as often, and so I'll just randomly collect things and I'll have a little pile for you, and then when I see you I'll be like, here, pile, here you go. So I've been getting ducks and little figures and stuff like that for a friend. But here's the thing with small humans, right? Their interests changed. I know that mine's has. We were doing lots of Frozen and Anna and Elsa, a couple of years ago, and we haven't started to hate it, but we've definitely started to get creepier or weirder as we've gotten older, which is perfectly fine and wonderful, because please be your weird little self. But as a result of that, sometimes that means I don't like these things anymore over here, and sometimes it's no, I still like them both, and this is my personality expanding. And so I wanted to make sure, because I don't live in close proximity to, nor do I really heavily interact with this short person, and so let's make sure. Also, if you're gonna give gifts to somebody who has kids, if you're gonna give to a kid, maybe run it by mom, guardian, parent, whatever. Maybe make sure it's not something that they're gonna take issue with. And I just, And I've been on the receiving end of that actually as a child, where I would have loved it, my mother wouldn't have. So there's that. I feel like as they get older, but when they're, pre-puberty, you should probably defer to what the parents want, because that's going to be an issue. And then, use your best judgment, right? But no, it might get you uninvited to places. So there's that. But like I said, I thought these were really cute. I thought they would be good little additions. Last week we shared the One Ring, which is going to be in this cavalcade of gifts to Friend. And while it is to her, I think everybody will think it's neat in the household, given the amount of nerdery that's going on. So what I will say is I happened upon these at a Walmart. When I went to look for the links to link them below, I found that I could not link them because they do not have them on the website. So I was like, well, that's fun. So if you see them out by this point, you might not. If you see them out and you want it, snatch it, because you might have a hard time finding it elsewhere. And with stuff like that that's limited runs, I would assume that would be just something that would happen, and you would have to be aware of that. So there's that. Trying to think of what else. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. So my questions for you are, what's the last gift that you got somebody else, and why? Do you plan your gift giving? Because I don't. Do you know the signs of your the astrological signs of your loved ones? And do you have any pop figures? You can drop a comment below. I would love to hear from you. I do read all the comments, so there's that. And if you want to see pictures of these things that are not moving around, then you can scroll into the post below. If you're watching this on YouTube, hit that link at the top and it'll send you over to Patreon. And I'm going to make myself a little note because I'm going to forget. Yeah, what I've decided is, hopefully I've managed this. But if you notice on any of my posts that I haven't managed this, please, by all means, tell me. I am trying to make sure that I get pictures not just of this, which depending on the glare you might not be able to see, but also that, which is considerably easier to see. So I've been trying to make sure that I do that before I post these things. And at this point, it is getting late in the day. I'm going to have a hard time doing that. I might just have to do this next weekend. Now that I think about it. Oh, that's unfortunate. That is unfortunate. I probably should get these together sooner than later. I don't think about it. Now that I think about it, that is going to be a thing that I'm going to have to worry about. Oh my gosh. That is great. And by great, I mean terrible. The great and powerful Oz. Yeah, so, speaking of links though, while I don't have links to those, I do have links to my work where I sometimes make things that are zodiac and elemental, etc. themed. So you might want to check it out. It might be interesting. I also do readings, by the way. If that is any interest to you, and you can find those on my websites linked below. You'll also find my social media, such that it is. And because you stayed to the end of this video, what are we talking about tomorrow? Oh boys, oh boy. Let's see. So tomorrow is the Celtic tree month of oak. It starts on 6/10. That is the 10th, not 6/10, like the time. Anyway, so if you are at the appropriate level on my cheers, and I really got to double check this, because I got to tell you, every time I reference this, I realize that I've forgotten which one is which, because I don't mention them every single time, and so I forget which one is which, and that is just the worst. The worst. Anyway, let me see. It's about... Okay. So if you join my monthly... Yeah, it's the monthly. So, hors d'oeuvres. Our hors d'oeuvres are our regular. And then if you want some energy work, it's 11sies. And the meditative message is entree. And everything else. I didn't write these down. I haven't written down like elsewhere. Like when you go to join, it gives you the options, and I don't look at it, right? I don't look at it because I don't look at it. Because I don't look at it. I made it, and that was the end of it. Jeez. So I need to obviously I need to look at it. And here we go. Okay. Yeah. I just need to... I mean, look at it. Because I'm silly. You're like, I gotta do so many things. That's like one of the things, that's one of the goals this year, is actually to like get myself a little better together, because you have plans for things, you're gonna do stuff, and you're like, okay, cool, and then like stuff happens, and then, or maybe, you're planning and you could have planned better, you could have planned better, or you planned it and then you're like, okay, this is a good start, and you have to go back and review it. You have to check it. You have to tweak. Like that's the trick. You have to tweak what's working and what's not. And if it's not working, I mean, that's cool. Adjust it, get rid of it. I don't know, do something with it. But don't just let it be and ignore it and not do anything with it. It's silly. Yeah. So, okay, that's it. That's it. So the if you're at one of my paid tiers, that it should be the orders. But you know, now that I'm saying that, no, yes, no. Let's see. Yeah, the that'll get you access to just like read it. It doesn't get you like participation access. Okay, so I might have to like revamp these too, to be honest with you. Yeah. So thank you for being here. I'm gonna go now because my brain is starting to leak out of my ears, and I'm not making as much sense as I was a couple hours ago. And you know what? I do like how I've done these videos that I've been pre-recording today. I don't like how long they're taking, but it is for your benefit that it takes longer, because I think it makes it more worth watching. Because me like popping in for like a couple of minutes to talk to you just feels like a waste of everybody's time. And so for those videos that have been like that, I do apologize. We're trying to do better. Again, that's what we're working on this year. Do better. Trying. Make it worth being there, right? So long, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, and goodbye, and I will see you. I will chat with you tomorrow. I will not see you tomorrow. Also that. I've made some changes. So many changes. I need to like redo my notes for my quick, because I can't keep up with everything. So there's that. Toodles.